Hello, everybody, and welcome to the crafting session of our learning today. We're going to be making something absolutely wonderful, and I hope that you're all as excited as I am about making something to do with today's sound, which is S. I absolutely cannot wait. But before we get going, let's make sure to sing our welcome song. Even though we can't all see each other, it's wonderful to send out the message that we're all saying hello to each other and feeling very welcoming today for anybody who's joining us for the very first time. So show me those big, happy, waving hands. Well done. And sing along with me. Hello, everybody. It's time for us to sing. Hello, everybody. It's time for us to sing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Time for us to sing. Well done, everybody. Now, if you can hear lots of creaking up and down the stairs at the moment, that is because when I do this, I currently do it with 3 children dotted around the house in different places, and bless them, they try to be as quiet as they can. Daddy's gone back to, well, Daddy's been at work the whole time, really. So we're sort of just managing. So bear with us. Well done for singing that welcome song so beautifully. Absolutely wonderful. Now, we learnt, didn't we, our Days of the Week song again, and we realised that today is, of course, Thursday. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I wonder if you can tell me what day it will be tomorrow. Tomorrow means the next day. Yesterday means the day before. So yesterday, can you all say that? My turn. Yesterday. Your turn. Fantastic. Yesterday, it was Wednesday. Today, it's Thursday. And tomorrow, it will be Friday. Let's have a look at all of our days of the week, and that will help us. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There we go, and that's how we know that tomorrow will be Friday. And I cannot wait because we are going to be cooking together, and I'm going to teach you how to make symmetrical pizzas. What's wrong, Boo?
And it's Fancy Friday, I think.
Not quite, no. Okay, so let's carry on with our Days of the Week song. We're going to sing the whole thing together. Are you ready? Here we go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday too. Every day's a happy day, every day's a magic day. Each day's a different day, and every day is new. Well done, everybody. And if you're watching on Instagram, please do hop along over onto our YouTube channel because it means you'll be able to watch on a much larger screen. And when you comment, I can see you immediately, which means that I can have more of a chat with you and say hello to your little ones. If you are watching on YouTube, do comment, let me know who's there, and I'll make sure to say a big hello. Same for Instagram as well. Now, before we get on with our sound and our crafting and our singing, we are going to be announcing today's superstar. Now, I was really, really proud when I heard all about today's superstar. She has worked so very hard. Her grown-up nominated her for Superstar of the Day, and she's just been absolutely marvellous. Hello, if you're just joining us. She's learnt her sounds, she's been writing, she's been segmenting and blending and working so hard. So it gives me great joy to announce that today's superstar is, drum roll please, drum. Are we ready? Grace! Grace, you are today's superstar. This certificate will be making its way to you, and you'll have it in your hands very, very soon. So hopefully you can pop it up onto your wall. Grace, if you're watching on Instagram, there's your certificate. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's there as well. Grace, well done. So it's time for me to take your name and pop it up onto our wall for Thursday. Grace, you are our Thursday superstar, and you should feel very, very proud of yourselves. Let's give Grace a great big fireworks clap and send that superstar right up into the sky. Here we go. Clap, 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 Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Clap, 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 clap. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Well done. And remember, you are all absolutely superstars. Grown-ups, remember that there is a copy of my superstar certificate on my shop. And so if your little one does something and you think it really, really needs to be celebrated, you can print it off. And if you send me a message over on Instagram, I will make sure to record a voice message to congratulate them. And then you can present the award from me. So that's Grace. And Max, because we missed you yesterday with your certificate, here is your certificate, Max, and that will be on its way to you as well. Look at the pile of certificates we've got. My goodness, there's absolutely loads. We're going to be sending those all in the post tomorrow. I do a Friday post run. And hello to Muhammad. I hope you are very well today, and I hope I've said your name properly. I really, really do. I get really upset if I know I've said a name wrong. It makes me feel very, very sad. Now, before we get to today's craft, who would like to sing a song with me? Does anybody have any song requests for me today? My goodness me, we haven't had song requests in such a long time. But before we get to song requests, let's sing a song that I love to sing. This is one of my favourites. Where are you? I'm looking for all of my currant buns. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we've got currant bun number 1, currant bun number 2, currant bun number 3, currant bun number 4. But where is number 5? Oh, number 5. There you are, hiding behind our little friend the bunny. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, today we're going to be making our very own salt dough recipe. And so I'm going to use some of my salt dough props. And if you want to make those with the rest of your mixture after you make your snake, then you can. And then you'll be able to sing and count along with me. 5 currant buns in a baker's shop. Here we go. 5 currant buns in a baker's shop, round and fat with a cherry on top. Along came George with a penny one day, bought a currant bun and took it away. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 currant buns in a baker's shop, round and fat with a cherry on top. Along came Muhammad with a penny one day, bought a currant bun and took it away. Well done. Now we have 1, 2, 3. 3 currant buns in a baker's shop, round and fat with a cherry on top. Along came Robin with a penny one day, bought a currant bun and took it away. And now we just have 2. 1, 2. 2 currant buns in a baker's shop, round and fat with a cherry on top. Along came Verity with a penny one day, bought a currant bun and took it away. There you are. And now we just have 1. Thank you, Bella. 1 currant bun in a baker's shop, round and fat with a cherry on top. Along came Leo with a penny one day, bought a currant bun and took it away. And now we have none. And the other word for none is, can you remember it? 0. Let's look back at our numbers before we sing some more songs. So we're going to start from 0 today. 0 means none or nothing. And when we say 0, we go around the moon. Show me with your magical drawing fingers around the moon for 0. Well done. Then we have 1. 1 is stand up straight. Let's have a look at the picture. Stand up straight. Well done. 1. Fantastic. 1. Next, we have our favourite, number 2. Who can remember the rhyme for number 2? We go up and over the monster's eyes, wipe his snotty nose, and brush his yucky teeth. Let's turn that around and have a look. We go up and over his eyes, wipe that snotty nose, and brush his teeth. Well done. The number 2. 1, 2. Next, we have the number 3 and some other numbers underneath there. I must have used it as a doodle sheet. I'm so sorry, everybody. So there we have the number 3. 1, 2, 3. And if I turn it around, then we have our traffic lights. Red, amber, green. I like to ride my bicycle. I ride it to the shop. And when I see that big red light, I know that I must stop. Red, amber, green. 1, 2, 3. Go, 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 go. Well done, everybody. Great singing, by the way. Now we have our number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And we remember that we swipe down our monkey's back. We go across his branch and we pull down that banana. We go down our monkey's back, go across his branch, and we pull down that banana. Oh, hello, Barney. How are you? Have you come to see me? And if we have a look at our monkey, you don't want to drink that. Oh, he's got paint on his ears. Oh, dear. Let's swipe down that monkey's back, go across the branch and pull down the banana. Well done, everybody, the number 4. And finally for today, our number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We knock off the snowman's head and go around his big tummy. Let's have a look at it again. Knock off the snowman's head and go around his tummy. Knock off the snowman's hat, and go around his tummy. There we are. Knock that snowman's hat off around his tummy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done, everybody. Great job. Now, if you would like to find these, because they are absolutely wonderful, these cards are from Teacher Play Limited. I don't get asked to share them. It's nothing like that. It's just I've never found something that teaches number formation better and number recognition. They're brilliant. So yeah, I always use them because they just make so much sense. Right then. Let's sing another song. Now, George has asked for Down in the Jungle. Now, I only know one verse of this one, and it's always a little bit different every time I sing it, but I will sing it for you, George. Here we go. Down in the jungle where nobody goes, there's a big gorilla washing his clothes with a wash, wash here, a wash, wash there. This is the way he washes his clothes. Diddly-eye-eye, a boogie, woogie, woogie, tiddly-eye-eye, a boogie, woogie, woogie, tiddly-eye-eye, a boogie, woogie, woogie. This is the way he washes his clothes. There you go. That one's just for you. And also we've had Olive who's asked for My Bonnie. My goodness, it's been so long since I've sung that. Bella's going to get the lyrics right now. And while she does, let's sing our ABC song together. I want to see if you've remembered how we do that funny bit in the middle. Okay, you ready? How do we do it? We use our fingers, don't we, to remember those sounds. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABC. Next time, won't you sing with me? Well done. Okay, so My Bonnie lies over the ocean. I'm going to have a go at this one for you, Olive. Are you ready? Here we go. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. Oh, now, Bella, you've got me a pop version. Bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. Bring back my Bonnie to me. There you go. I'm not sure what version that was. Maybe it's like a rock. I can imagine that being a rock song.
It's the Beatles version.
Oh, it's the Beatles. Okay, well, fair enough. Well done to you all for singing along with me. I say that it is about time we do some crafting. Now, I get asked almost every day for this recipe. So
And you answer it every single day.
I answered it every single day because it's that simple. So, oh, it's your favourite song. Well, then I need to make sure that I sing it more because it's got lots of b sounds. So when we learn b, we're going to sing it. Okay, so you are going to need a mixing bowl and a wooden. Can you see this has already been used today? And I'll show you why in a moment. So you're going to need your mixing bowl and a big spoon. The next things that you're going to need are your cup of flour. Now, flour is hard to come by these days. So I don't mind whether you use plain flour or self-raising flour or really expensive flour or really, really cheap flour. It doesn't matter. Self-raising obviously will go a little bit poofy, but that doesn't matter too much. It's just that if you're using it to make handprints and footprints, you're going to have to let it air dry for a long time because the oven will puff them back out. But any flour is fine. Plain is the best because things don't move around so much when you put them in the oven. So plain flour, 1 cup. I just use cups as measurements. Now, if you want to only make a little bit of small salt dough, then only use a small cup. But we want to make lots today because we're going to be making lots of wonderful things. So 1 cup of flour. Let's pour it in.
Your face when you do that.
I always make that face when I do that, don't I? 1 cup of flour. Oh, it's gotten a bit stuck. Did you use a wet cup when you got this ready,
No,
Boo?
I tried it.
Bella, I tutor in the morning, lots and lots of children. And so often while I'm doing that, Bella will get ready the craft things because she is wonderful. And just, yeah.
But making my eggs in the morning.
And she makes her own eggs in the morning too. Okay, so we've got 1 cup of flour in our bowl. The next thing we need is really important. 1/2 cup of salt. And again, this is the cheapest salt we could find. It was that one you get in a bag. It's about 20p. And it's great for making salt dough. And it's also wonderful for making Play-Doh as well. So 1/2 cup of salt. Okay, you're going to pour that all in with your flour. There we go. That's all in. Oh! Apparently not. It's never ending. Now, I know I'm a lot like Mary Poppins, but I thought it was bags that were supposed to be never ending, not cups. What are you doing? What's going on? Bella, were these cups wet? Come on, salty salt, we need you. Let's give it a scrape, make sure it's there. I would advise using dry cups for this.
I had to wash them all because we didn't have exactly the
It's
same
okay,
cups.
it's all right, Bella, you're
They're
wonderful.
all different.
And we got be careful when you're pouring salt. It sometimes makes a bit of a salt cloud and doesn't taste great. Okay, so now we have our salt and our flour. We're going to mix those things up together. We want them to be nice and even. So mix it up, go round in circles. You can do scooping actions and zigzags. But I like to go around in circles with my wooden spoon, like this. And while I'm stirring, I utter a spell, just like the room on the broom. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom. And out rose a truly magnificent spoon.
It's
Supposed to be a broom, but
covered in flour and salt.
it is covered in flour and salt. Okay, so we've mixed those 2 things together. The next thing we need is 1/2 cup of water. Now, sometimes 1/2 cup does just the trick. Sometimes it's too much and sometimes it's too little. So I leave that up to you to get the consistency that you want for your dough. We want quite a firm dough. We don't want it to be too sticky. So we're very careful when we add our water. We don't add it all at once. So we do about 1/2, and then we're going to fold it in with our spoon. And we want to start to form a nice dough. So that's 1/2 of it added. I'm definitely going to need to add some more. We've still got lots and lots of flour that's not yet been absorbed. So we're going to add a little bit more around the edges, get all of that flour in.
Olive said she thinks I'm very, very funny.
Olive thinks I think you're very, very funny too. Funny ha-ha, not funny peculiar. Maybe funny peculiar, I don't know, you're 10. Only time can tell. You are funny. It's the laugh, Bella. Your laugh is infectious.
I can make some sort of hyena laugh, many laughs. I have very different laughs.
She's a master of laughs. So it's still a little dry. And I know that if I squash that together, I will make a dough, but it might still be a little bit too dry. So I'm going to add the rest of my water. Bella, you measured all of this out perfectly. Well done.
Yay!
I don't know. I might have spoken too soon.
Oh.
Okay, so let's mix that all in. Try and get it so that that water reaches all of the dry bits of dry ingredients like your flour and your salt. Mix it all in as much as you can, and it will start to form its very own dough ball. So that is when we get our hands messy.
Like in cookie dough.
Like with cookie dough. Yeah, because what we're going to do is in a moment, we're going to start to put our hands in the mixture. Now, I will warn you, if you have any little cuts on your hands, so maybe if you've fallen over, or if sometimes I used to get little sores on my nails, but if you do, it might sting a little bit, and that's because the salt will you can really feel it, and it's a bit stingy. So if you do have any scratches or anything on your hands, this might be good to ask your grown-ups to help you with, okay? But don't worry, you can always wash them and then it won't hurt anymore. Okay, so I'm going to scrape the dough off of my spoon with my finger. Ugh. Now, grown-ups, this is a really good sensory activity and great for anybody who likes to get their hands dirty. I'm going to start scraping everything up into a ball. I'm making sure to grab all of the dry ingredients back in. Make sure that none of them are really left out. This is one of those things I can't really do on screen. I need a little shelf. Okay, so I'm pushing all of the flour, can you see that now? Into my dough. I'm making sure that we've got everything from that mixture in that dough ball. And I'm just squidging it until it becomes slightly less gloopy sticky and a little bit more firm. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing it with two hands. So I'm squeezing it all together, turning it in my hands, pushing everything I have into this dough, which can be quite relaxing. Okay, so we're squeezing it all together, and this is still mixing all of the flour and the salt and the water all together so that we get a nice even spread. And that means that when we put these in the oven, which your grown-ups are going to do, that they just, there's no soft bits in the middle or bits that are too dry. Well, you've had a comment that says, Bella rocks. She's doing this. Okay, so now I've done a whole lot of mixing. If you can see, let's pull that screen down a little bit. There we go. So I now have a lovely ball of dough. But don't be fooled. It's not like cookie dough. It does not taste nice. This is not the sort of dough you want to be putting in your Ben & Jerry's, because it will taste like the sea. Ugh, salty and gross. Okay, so
jelly bean.
There, oh yeah, one of those tricky jelly beans that's not the Harry Potter ones. Okay, so now we have our big ball of dough. It's time to form it into today's shape. So today we are going to be making snakes for our S sound, because this will always really, really help us with our reading and our writing. So I don't really need all of this dough to make a snake. So I'm just going to break a bit off. And I'm going to leave the rest of the dough to make some of my singing time props. Okay, so here's my dough.
Can I make a snake?
You've made a snake. You can make one in a minute. I'll leave you the dough.
Yay!
Okay, because I'm going to need it for some other things in a moment. Okay, so we've got our ball of dough. Now, one thing that might help you get your snake's shape is if you get some paper and a pen, or even, where are we? I'm not going to use my soundboard. I am going to use a bit of paper. Let's have a look. So, Bella, would you be a dear and grab me a piece of paper, please? So if you want some help making your S shape, then there are two ways you can do it. You can write a big S on some paper, or you can ask your grown-up to do that part for you. Okay, so I'm going to grab my bit of paper and I'm going to draw a big S, just like that. So that's my S, and that's going to be the shape of my snake, just like the one that we always look at on our cards. So once I've done that, I'm going to grab my ball of dough and I'm going to start to roll it between my two hands and make a kind of sausage shape. So there we go. Oh, now my dough seems to be not very firm, so I might have to make a smaller one. Let's take some of that dough away. So
Very small snake.
That's all right. It just doesn't want to stay together so well. So I'm being very, very careful that I don't have a bit that's too heavy. And I'm making it very, very stretchy, just like that. I'm going to lay that along my arm because that's about the length that I want it now. And then I'm going to take my, let's turn that. Bella, can you check on Instagram that everybody can see?
Everyone can see.
Lovely. And I'm going to lay my salt dough over, oh no, it's so sticky. I'm going to lay my salt dough over my piece of paper. Now you can also, if you want to be really clever, you can write your S on some baking parchment and then the baking parchment can go straight into the oven. So we're going to make that S shape and I'm going to pull it along my S sound, and then I see that my snake needs to be a little bit longer. So I'm squishing some more dough all the way up to the top of my snake, all the way like this. Oh, there we go. And there I have my lovely snake. Now, I've used the S sound to help me there, and I've made sure to place my dough all the way over the entire sound. So that's going to be my snake. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into the oven. So if you've got some parchment paper or a grease-proof tray, then that's going to really, really help you. Sometimes if I know I'm going to be near the oven, and because salt dough goes into the oven on such a low heat, you can pop the paper in, but just keep an eye on it and make sure that it stays away from the back of the oven. But if you've got baking parchment, I definitely use that because it's much, much safer. So these are going to go into the oven on the lowest heat your oven can go to, and you're going to leave them there for as long as you possibly can, usually about an hour to an hour and a half. It takes a long, long time, but it's worth it, I promise. So when you then take them out of the oven and you let them cool down, you should have something that looks like this. Now, Bella's added a tongue to ours, which is great, but I'm pretty sure it's quite brittle and may well snap at some point. So we're praying it stays. But this is ours, and as you can see, because it's been in the oven, it's now solid. It looks like a really cool biscuit, actually, but you wouldn't want to eat it because
it smells a bit like bread.
It does smell a bit like bread, but I'm imagining it must taste very salty because it's got so much salt in it. When we add salt to a recipe, we really only add a pinch, but this has got half a cup, which would be far too much to eat and would make you feel yucky. So there's our snake. Now what I'm going to spend some time doing with my snake is I'm going to be painting it. So Bella, can I grab the paintbrush that's not black?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
And also, if you want to make black paint, you have to use blue, red, and yellow.
Oh, does that make black paint?
Yeah, and also if you use less, so if you have a brownie colour with it, then add more blue, and then you have a bit more black.
Oh, I see.
If you want to have a brownie colour, I'd probably say add less blue.
Okay. So I'm just using ordinary poster paint. It's the stuff that was £1 from the works, so it's not particularly special. Where's my chopping board gone? Let's use that for a minute. It's not particularly special. And with salt dough, you often do need, maybe 2 coats if you really want that lovely dark colour. But you can paint it just like this. It dries quite quickly, obviously because of the salt. We're going to paint it green.
Wait.
Yes. What?
So salt makes everything dry quicker?
Yeah, salt makes everything really dry. Have you ever been into the sea and then come out of the sea and let your hair dry off? And it goes really curly and it feels really dry.
No.
Oh.
Mine stays straight.
Okay. Well, but it feels dry, doesn't it, when you've been in the sea? And that's because the sea is full of salt. So I'm not going to paint the whole thing today because I want you to be able to get on and make and paint yours. But when I do paint my snake, I'm going to give it some like triangle, zigzaggy shapes. Oh, there and there. And I'm going to colour them in with red, like that. And I will post on my stories what my snake looks like when it's all completely painted. And I cannot wait to see the snakes that you make out of your salt dough. So Bella, you can carry on painting that if you want to. She's much better at this than I am. There you are, Bella. Now, with the rest of your salt dough, the possibilities are, oh no, the tongue's broken off. Thought that might happen. So the possibilities with your salt dough are endless. So if you would like your very own little men in their flying saucers, they're quite easy. But the one thing about salt dough is it's quite squishy and it doesn't like to sort of stay in one place for very long. So if you're making anything that you want to stand upright, we use paper straws. So we make our shape and then we pop a straw all the way through it. And then we either stand it like that to bake or we very gently lay it down. So for little men in a flying saucer, rather than having a ball on top of shoulders, we actually just make the whole shape out of all of the salt dough. We don't make two shapes stuck together. And that's because if we do that, it's much more likely that whatever you've made can break. So for our little man in a flying saucer, Bella's now got my chopping board.
Oh,
That's okay. I'm going to use a Gruffalo book instead. So we take the ball of dough and we splodge it and we make a nice flat underneath bit. And then I pull up the head shape like so. And I use my fingers and my thumbs to make the shape of my alien. That's why they always look a bit funny. It's because salt dough is a funny thing to work with. So that is going to be the shape of my alien. And all of my aliens are different shapes and sizes because I like it that way, because then they have a bit more character. So what I would then do is take a straw and either push it all the way through from the top to the bottom or turn that salt dough over and do it from the other side. If you do push it down, then just cover it over with a bit more salt dough. And then I put that in the oven for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours and then take it out and paint it. Now these needed, I wanted really bright colours, so these needed about 3 or 4 coats of paint, and then I used a Sharpie for the detail. So that's how we made our aliens. The other sorts of things that you can make are little ducks, and those ducks can be the shape or colour that you want them to be. So those are our little ducks. And for our currant buns, well, we just made that lovely bun shape, and just like that.
We did put it in a cupcake case though.
We did put them in cupcake cases, yeah. We kind of wanted them to have that kind of cupcake texture around the edge. So we've got a bun sort of shape there. And then I added a cherry on top, just like that. Boop. And then we painted them. Simple. And they're not pretty. They don't look exactly like currant buns, but that's where we use our imagination. Your currant buns can look exactly like how you want them to. Your aliens, your little men and your ducks can look exactly like how you want them to. Or, do you know what? You might use your salt dough to make something for some other songs. And if you do, I want you to send me your ideas and I might make them too. So if you can think of a song that might use salt dough as its prop, so it could be Once I Caught a Fish Alive, it could be Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. If you can think of a song and make a prop to go with that song, especially if it's a counting song, send me a picture of what you make and I might just copy you. And tomorrow you might see your work of art being used in our singing. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. Now, I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. We will recap the sounds that we've learnt today and this week. course. We will have a superstar of the day, and we are going to be learning all about symmetry. So grown-ups, if you want to chat through symmetry with your little ones before tomorrow, that can be really helpful because then the word will already be in their minds. We're going to be making symmetry pizzas. And all of the ingredients can be found on my timetable post down in my grid on Instagram. It just says timetable of the week, and all of the ingredients can be found under Friday. We will be live here on YouTube and over on the Fish Hotel's Instagram page, which is so lovely. I'm so excited to go and visit. Soon we'll be running live from there, so it's going to be ever so lovely. A big hello to Alana, who's watching for the very first time. Hello, Alana. Well, do you know, our arts and crafts session is always a bit different to our phonics session. So it's much more relaxed and much more chatty. But Alana, I hope that you join us tomorrow at 9:30 when we'll be learning a new sound. Today's sound was S, and we've been making salt dough snakes.
We won't be learning a new sound tomorrow.
No, tomorrow, Alana, we'll be learning to cook. On Friday, we do cookery, and on Saturday, we do science. We're going to be doing science, and tomorrow, Saturday science is going to be all about how we keep our hands clean and why that's important, which is really exciting. I can't wait. It's been lovely to see you. I will see you again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Goodbye from me. Have a lovely day. We are learning new sound tomorrow, actually.
Oh,
Doing a recap. Doing a phonics recap. Sorry, my weeks are all different now. We've changed everything. Phonics recap at 9:30 and then making pizzas at 11 a.m. There you go. That's the one. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. And I can't wait to see pictures of all the wonderful things you make out of your salt dough.